Hello? Hello? Who's down here? Who's down here? Oh my God. Are you alright? Oh my God, what happened? Who did this to you? Who did this to you? I'm gonna help you, alright? I'm gonna help you. I'm here to help you. Just relax. Just relax. I'm gonna help you. You know what? I'm not gonna help you. You know why I'm not gonna help you? Because it's me! It's me! You got that? It's me! And I'm gonna keep you here until I am done with you! You will understand the definition of agony and misery! You little demented piece of crap! You got me until you die!
Hello.
Well, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We are here.
I'm going to take these off. I don't know why. But I wanted to see my face, you see.
Yeah.
You know, people keep saying to me, is that Robert Redford on that show? No, it's not Robert Redford.
People have asked me that.
I am, in
a
fact,
couple times, yeah.
I am Daryl K. Smith. We are doing Film Banter, another wonderful and exciting and disappointing episode. And here I am, Daryl K. Smith. Of course, my porn name is Craven Moorhead.
Yes, it is.
I have Mr. Christopher Picard here.
Thank you, sir.
There you go, sir. It's always
Such
good
a nice,
to see him.
wonderful welcome.
Now his porn name naturally is Buster Hyman.
Yes.
But now Chris has a porn.
It's a good moniker, though.
He also has a porn. Forgive me, a gay porn.
You do?
Name.
I do. This is news to me, everybody.
I know. It's Tate Pounder.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
yes,
because
yes,
it's prostate pounder. You see. Hey, but hey. So there we go. But anyway, another thrilling episode here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Let me look directly into the lens here so I can see all you
beautiful eyes.
You invalids and all you wonderful little scrotum suckers out there. So here we are again, another wonderful episode.
I'm very happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here too.
Yeah.
It's always a joy. It's
Our
always
wonderful third episode here with the terrific crew.
An honor.
Very, very nice. I love being down here.
Me too. Me
This is
too,
great.
dude. Well, all right.
Anything you want to say before we start?
I think I'd like to know if there's any news. Do we have
have
any news?
a few little bits and pieces of news that I'd like to share with
All
everybody.
right. There you go.
So just a few things real quick. First, we're going to say that the reign of power of the box office of Black Panther has been tarnished this week. Pacific Rim 2 has pretty much taken over this weekend.
The rain in Spain stays
Yes.
mainly on the plane.
It does, yes. And Black Panther, was number one for about 6 weeks. That's nothing.
Long time.
Yeah, that's nothing to be upset about. That's a good number.
I know.
Pacific Rim 2, I was actually surprised that it came in. I thought maybe it was Ready Player One this coming weekend that would have dethroned it. But,
I know.
But hey, you know what? People were interested in seeing a bunch of robots fight some monsters.
I thought that was a porn film, Pacific Rim Job. I thought it was going to be. But you know,
there's always got to be a joke there.
There's always got to be.
Always looking for that joke.
Always looking for that.
But
hey.
So number one. So we'll see. I don't think Pacific Rim is going to come in number one this weekend again. It's going to be Ready Player One.
I don't think so either.
Absolutely.
I don't think so. I think
Panther was still number two, and it's at this point brought in $630 million domestically.
Well, this weekend though, we do have the new Steven Spielberg film.
That's what I said. Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
That's going to be number one. No doubt.
Easily going to take. It's going to
100%.
demolish everything.
It is.
Absolute, total.
And then rounding out the rest of the top films this weekend, we had I Can Only Imagine, which is a faith-based film. That was number 3.
Correct.
Sherlock Gnomes, a movie that I would never see. That's number 4.
Elton John did all the music.
I know, I heard that. Yeah.
And I hear the score is not bad.
Yeah, it probably is
He also
decent.
produced it though, but I hear it's a very lame film.
Well, it's a kids movie. What are you going to do?
It's a kids movie. What are you going to do? Yeah, but Coco's a kids movie. That's supposed to be good.
It's supposed to be good. We'll see.
It did win Best Animated Feature at the Academy
and
Awards.
It won the best song, which was an atrocity. It should have been the one from The Greatest Showman.
I totally agree with you there.
Tomb Raider was number 5. Unfortunately, that had like a 57% drop this weekend.
Really?
Number 5.
Oh my God.
Wrinkle in Time was number 6. Your favorite film?
I love that film.
Yeah. Love, Simon was number 7. Number 8 was Paul, the Apostle of Christ, another faith-based film.
I'd love to see that. Jim Caviezel playing.
Yeah, I'd like
he's
to
not
see
playing
that.
Christ.
No,
but,
not Christ this time.
But you know, I saw that film came out with Jim Caviezel. The first thing I said was, "Jesus Christ!"
Oh, you did say
There's
that,
Jim
yes.
Caviezel again in another, you know, semi-religious film.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good though.
There you go.
Game Night was number 9, followed by Midnight Sun, which I'm not familiar with what that might be. I think that might be an Indian film. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what.
There's a bunch of Indian films out
It
now
is
in
so
our market.
bizarre when
Yeah.
you go up specifically by me over there in the Palisades.
Yes.
There are like 5 to 10 Indian films now that are there.
Okay, it's popular. I mean,
They
the
play
Theater by
quite
Me too
a
plays
few.
several.
There
Yeah.
are many of them.
There are.
Not all of them are Bollywood films.
Okay, that's
with the
true.
musical in
Well,
them,
there's a lot
they
of
have many
co-productions
other
now between
kinds.
Bollywood and Hollywood.
I know.
Yes, you're good. That's good.
Very true
And
indeed.
then rounding out number 11, I threw number 11 because Unsane was number 11,
Oh,
which we
boy.
are going to cover tonight.
We are going to cover,
talk
even
about
though nobody
Unsane.
knows about that
Well, they
film.
should know about
Nobody's
it.
heard a damn thing about Unsane,
I
but
know.
we're going to let them know, even though it is the new Steven Soderbergh.
Soderbergh film, the
I
man
know.
who doesn't know how to retire.
The man who
Yeah.
just doesn't want to retire.
I'm going to do a couple more stories real quick.
Oh, please don't.
One, do you want me to quit?
No, I don't know. Do you want to do
I'm going to
them?
do a couple.
Do a couple.
I'm going to skip this one here. I'm just going to say that I'm happy
Well,
about...
what's the one you're going to skip?
I'm skipping the Javier Bardem one.
Oh, forget that.
About the...
Him joining up with Spielberg. Who
Doesn't matter.
cares?
Freddie Mercury, the biopic about him
Yes.
called Bohemian Rhapsody. Finally, we know a little bit more about it. It's coming out in November.
It's coming out
It's
shortly.
been pushed forward to November 2nd. I think originally it was supposed to come out sometime later. But I thought the film was a little bit in limbo because they fired Bryan Singer,
I know.
who we might remember, right in the middle, I guess towards the end of production, over the Thanksgiving break, the studio fired him.
I thought
Brady-
it was. Pardon me just for saying.
Go
I thought
ahead.
it was so cool when Sacha Baron Cohen
I
was
know,
going
I
to play
thought that
Freddie
was great.
Mercury.
Yeah, and then they had creative differences.
And then which is
And now
just a
they're-
shame because I think he would have been
He would have
perfect.
been great, I agree.
Because he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Where the guy from iRobot is a.
It's
you
Rami
know,
Malek. I mean, this is going to be his big breakout.
I think
they
you're
say,
right.
I heard he does the singing, so that should be pretty
that
cool.
I find very hard to believe.
That's going to be a tough thing to do.
Not many people can
Or
do-
maybe lip sync very well. at the
Freddie
very
is
least.
one of
Yeah.
the greatest singers
I
in the
know, I
planet.
agree. There's not
You know,
many
Freddie
people that can do
Mercury
his
really
voice.
didn't sing very much. He never wrote a song before Queen.
Interesting.
Never.
Yeah, he has an interesting background.
And he suddenly wrote these incredible,
songs, yeah.
well, Night at the Opera.
Yeah.
You know, it's four first sections of that song.
It's incredible.
It's an
band.
amazing
It's
piece
one
of
of
work.
a kind band. It's amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
But I was happy to see that. Okay, so now we know it's coming out in November. Rami
All right.
Malek.
November
they brought
2nd, you
in
say? Yep.
another director to finish the film, and so hopefully it'll be good.
I hope so.
The last thing I just want a quick touch on. It's not a huge story. It's just that Tom Hardy, one of our favorite actors, we love him on this show.
Yes.
He's playing Capone. He just started production on this film. It's called Fonzo. And in this film,
Fonzo.
we have a look. Tom Hardy released this first image
there he is.
from the film set of him in character. But this film is different from a lot of the stories about Capone, where this covers the end of his life when he's deteriorating mentally and physically. The syphilis is eating at his brain, and he's starting to go crazy.
Oh.
So this should be an interesting take on a character.
That happened to me once.
It did it? That's
Yeah,
terrible.
the syphilis just began to eat at my brain.
My condolences
Next
to you.
thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire,
Yeah.
and the kinfolk said, "Jed, get me out of
Get me
here."
outta here.
He said, "California is the place you ought to be." So he loaded up the truck and he moved to Beverly
Very good.
Hills.
I'm glad
that
you
is.
remember that.
I do.
Good for you. So we're going to move on, folks. We're going to cover some films tonight.
We are?
Yes. So we're going to start. We're going to do Unsane, which is the Soderbergh film that we discussed.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Unsane.
Then we're going to do Father Figures, which is a film.
Father figures.
Yeah, remember Father Figures?
Yes,
Told
I
me to
remember.
watch that. Somebody go see that. Then we're going to do a lot of the films we're doing tonight are films that are currently available. You can watch them at home on Amazon.
That we've rehashed from our previous YouTube.
Only one of them. Only Greatest Showman.
Well, Greatest Showman, and I do believe we mentioned Prisoners at a previous
we
time.
never reviewed it officially. We've mentioned it on the show,
I
but
don't
we've never
know.
had a review moment.
Well, that's because we weren't doing
No, but
we
we've
weren't
segued
reviewing
into
movies
it.
when
but now
it
we're
came
actually
out.
giving it a moment.
We will.
So we're going to do The Greatest Showman, which is also now available at home on Amazon. Came out today, I believe. We're going to do Prisoners in honor of Hugh Jackman, which is probably our favorite film that he's done, at least of late.
Well, sort of.
We're going to do a flashback. I'm going to jump into the archives and do a film from the 80s.
I know.
I'm going to do Lady Hawk,
So
1985.
disappointed. So disappointed.
I'm more disappointed in your horror crap that you're going to be doing.
Yeah, but
Daryl's
Lady
Horror
Hawk.
Corner
Oh,
tonight.
but Lady Hawk.
He's going to have
Just a
Insidious
waste of-
4. He's going to do
Yeah, but-
Demon House.
Okay.
And then you're going to touch on the Alienist, which is on TNT.
It just ended last night.
Last night, 10 episodes.
Last night was
Yeah.
the 10th and finale, if
Exactly.
you will.
So why don't we begin? Let's talk about Unsane.
Let's talk about
Would you like to
Unsane.
give the synopsis? Would you like to read
I'd
the
be
synopsis?
happy to. No, I can pretty much give the
Paraphrase it,
synopsis.
my friend.
This is about a young woman. This is a very unique little bit of a movie here. This is about a young woman who is acting a little bit insane. She feels that she has a stalker, so she's working at her work, and then suddenly she is mentions to a social worker that she had in fact had thoughts about suicide. And I can definitely relate to this very same thing. I mentioned it myself at one point. My wife has passed away as of 4 years now. But anyway, back to this film, she mentions to somebody that she had suicidal tendencies, played by Claire Foy up there, who was also in The Crown and has won many Emmys for that.
She has. And now she's going to be the new Lisbeth Salander in the next installment of the Dragon Tattoo series.
That's a pretty good casting.
Yeah, she's going to play that role now.
I think she'll be pretty good
in
that.
The new Hollywood, it's not even a remake.
New Hollywood.
Yeah, it's not even a remake of one of the other films. It's a whole new story.
It's a whole new
based on one of the other, I guess, one of the newer books that came out.
There's
not
only the
written
3
by
books.
the original author.
It's not the 3 books, man.
It's not the 3
Then
trilogy.
they came out with like a 4th and a 5th.
Yes.
It's like James Bond. They had all
Pretty
these
much.
other writers
Yeah.
that began to write James Bond stories
Pretty
and so
much.
forth. But anyway, back to Unsane. So anyway, she is now taken away. The social worker goes to the powers that be, and they collect her. And she is told to report here. And next thing you know, she's being led into a room, and she is now being kept for 24 hours because she mentioned that she wanted to kill herself, which of course is a sign of total insanity or unsanity. And so what happens next? She begins to go a little berserk. You know, the film takes a turn.
Yeah.
And I was very disappointed in that turn. Because we have a woman who is incarcerated against her will. I thought that alone was a great storyline. I thought that was cool, to just let that ride out. Because she was going more nuts and more nuts. And okay, I've got this stalker. He's coming after me. And there he is. He works
And
here.
then they got to take it into like thriller/horror territory.
I know, you know, I
They
was
always do that.
very disappointed that they had to make this serial killer guy present, and I know that's a bit of a spoiler. It's only half an hour into the film that we kind of find out that he is now working at this place. But
Well, the one point too that we neglected to mention is that, you know, she had moved in the beginning of the film. We find out she moved like 400 miles from Boston to like Pennsylvania.
she was in Massachusetts
To leave
let me
her
say
whole life behind
this about that.
because of this stalker.
Correct.
And then when she's admitted into this hospital, she finds that this guy is now working there under another identity, which
Little
was a
coincidental.
little bit of a
I
far-fetched thing
agree.
to me.
It was totally
It was
awful.
a screenplay contrivance,
I
unfortunately.
know, it ruined it kind of ruins.
However, that was played, by the way, the stalker is played by Joshua Leonard, who is very good. I thought he was good in this. He was originally in the Blair Witch Project, and then
was he?
He was one of the 3 teenagers that were in the woods documenting the witch.
I see.
But I thought it was an effective film. I was getting a little antsy at times because I'm like, oh my God, this must be so claustrophobic to be in this environment against your will. And oh, you know who else was good in this film? Who played kind of an antagonist?
Well, Jay Farrow was in the movie.
Jay Farrow and Juno Temple.
Yeah,
She's an antagonist in the film.
You know,
another patient. She looks awful in this movie.
I love
with the
Juno Temple.
dreadlocks.
She's a very cute little
Good
girl.
actress.
She was in the show Vinyl with
Yes.
Bobby
It's a good show. Very
Bobby
good. Cannavale.
Fornicatoli. And
Yes.
but anyway, she was so cute in real life. She was also in the new Woody Allen film.
Yeah, she's got a lot of work.
And my God, but in this film, she's almost unrecognizable.
I know.
She's so she's puffy. She's got braids. She just
they
looks
made
like
her really
they
look
gave her a
ugly.
great white trash look.
Yeah, she was good.
And she's it's really, you know, the characters of this film all kind of come together. I thought Claire was very good in the performance, and you know, she does go a little berserk at the beginning, as she's supposed to. And you know, from the way she was going nuts and slapping people around, they would have kept her in there for like a month or 2 or 3.
Well, again, the movie touches on too, is that you're only going to be in there as long as insurance will allow.
Yeah, but that's usually a few months.
No, insurance is...
No, insurance goes 3 to 4 months, man.
Yeah, does it?
Oh, yeah.
I guess it depends on how good your insurance
Well,
is.
she's working at a very
if you're
high
on Medicaid,
end.
you're lucky you get a week.
She's at a high-end job. You know, she's a very high-end.
She's in a bank.
In a banker
So,
situation.
so we can
but she's administration in that banker. She's
she's
not a teller.
No, she's administrator.
Correct.
Yeah. So we have to assume that she has good coverage.
We do.
But I thought the film was very effective. I thought, like you'd said, it got a little contrived at times. But,
It did.
But I thought it was a cool thing. Hey,
it was okay.
And it's an interesting experimental film because it was shot for $1.5 million. The whole movie was shot on an iPhone.
Really?
iPhone exclusively.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, they put it on the different gimbal rigs and
Wow.
they set it on. I think that added a little bit of a claustrophobia to some of the angles.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
were claustrophobic.
All
Where you
right.
can tell the camera right there, like there's a shot I posted there where it's on a gimbal and they're just walking behind her.
It's on a gimbal.
A gimbal is a little device you use to steady a camera. They have them made specifically for phones now.
When you were just a boy, there used to be a store called Gimbals.
Gimbals?
Yeah, Macy's and Gimbals.
Gimbals? I
yeah.
remember Giblings. I don't know about gimbals.
And then there's giblets, which is, like if you're Thanksgiving, you're
Yes.
having turkey,
Yes.
you have giblets
Oh,
with
what- I don't know what
yeah.
that is.
Yeah, giblets.
I thought those are the name for like deer droppings. Giblets?
No, those are probably turdlets or
Yeah.
something.
Somebody
like
said
that.
they look like Raisinets, which I guess kind of ruins Raisinets now.
Very much so, and as do rabbit droppings.
Yeah, they're gross too.
Yeah, rabbit droppings and hamster droppings.
You ever hear a rabbit scream? It's absolutely horrifying. They literally scream.
Yeah, they do scream.
It's a horrifying
Well, I used to have
sound.
a cat that used to hunt rabbits, and that was a grim scenario.
I'm sure they
Oh
like
my
bringing you
God.
little gifts.
Yeah, they do.
But anyway, so Unsane, I mean, I would say check it out. I think it's
Don't go to the theater, though. Wait,
You don't have to
camera
see it
on
in
me.
the theater.
Camera on me, please, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go to the theater to see this. It's only filmed on an iPhone. How much widescreen do you
Yeah,
get?
I mean, you could totally watch it at home, not a problem.
Watch it at home.
But it would be kind of nice if people went out to support these kind of films in the theaters, because then that'll allow other filmmakers with less means to, be able to get into the marketplace.
Yeah, but then they're kind of...
Somebody like Soderbergh can do whatever he wants.
Well, don't ever give your address out, because then people will come to your home and they'll be throwing rocks at your house going, "You told me to go see that movie, man.
I'm not telling them to go see it.
I spent $11 on that."
Go to a matinee. Go to a matinee like
There you
I
go.
did.
On a Tuesday.
Get Movie Pass, and it's
Yeah.
$10 a month.
$10 a
And then
month.
you can see a movie every single
Show
day
me
in
your
the
Movie
theater.
Pass card.
It's in my pocket. I can't
Oh,
get it.
I have it in my
It's a nice
pocket.
little card.
It's a little red card.
But
use Movie Pass. Take $10 a month. You can go
like
see anything you
supporting-
like.
I like supporting different films that are a little bolder.
You do?
To try new things, because I don't want to keep seeing the same old stuff every week.
You don't?
I don't want to see a Pacific Rim on the screen every week. I
Neither
don't
do
want
I.
to see that.
But you're going to go see it tonight.
Well, because my friends want to go and I have nothing else to do. So, no, actually.
What a sad excuse
No,
of
no,
a
it's-
movie reviewer you are,
No,
my
no, honestly,
friend.
I'm really seeing it for this show, to be honest with you. I'm
Oh, I
forcing
see.
myself to go see it. I could have deterred them into something else. I actually tried to get him to go see Isle of
Deterred
Dogs.
them? Once again, you're going back to the droppings.
Deterred. Yeah.
Deterred them.
I kind of wanted to go see Isle of Dogs, too, but
Well, there you go.
yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
All right, we shall.
We're going to do Father Figures, which is now available on Amazon
It is
streaming.
indeed.
It was in theaters at the end of the year, but now you can watch it at home. Father Figures is a story of Owen Wilson and Ed Helms. They play fraternal twin brothers.
They do.
They're kind of estranged.
They
don't
are
have-
twins.
Estranged, yes. Well, fraternal twins, yeah. And they go to their mother's wedding, played by Glenn Close.
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close, who is now marrying Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
And
I thought Harry was quite good in
he was
every
good.
little
yeah,
segment
he
he was
does
in.
what he can with his moments.
Of course,
there.
from The Simpsons, naturally.
Yes, and Spinal Tap, of course.
Naturally.
So in this film, they find out at their mother's wedding that the deceased father that they had been talking about and hearing about their entire life actually
Was
never
not
really
their
existed.
father.
It was
Yes.
a figment of the mother's imagination.
All right.
And that the real father actually is Terry Bradshaw.
Yes, indeed.
Believe it or not, the big football player and slash sometimes actor now Terry Bradshaw
I know.
is their father. So they decide to go on a road trip to find him because they want to meet
Well,
their
this is
dad.
what Glenn Close tells them.
Yes.
Yes.
So they
yes.
go to see him, and then obviously they find out, okay, he's not their dad. And they go to find
Spoiler alert.
That's not a spoiler. You can tell from the commercial
No,
that they're
you
going to
can't
see
really
all
tell
these
them.
different father figures.
Well, you do see various father
so
figures.
they go to see a bunch of different men who they think is their father, and one of them, is. So
Yeah.
Christopher Walken's in
Sort
the
of.
film.
Well, actually,
We have, well, let's not ruin anything for
well,
anybody.
yeah, but,
we have Christopher Walken in the film, Terry Bradshaw, like I said. We also have J.K. Simmons, who is
he shows
a
up.
rough and tough kind of a guy that they meet at
by
one
the way, we
point.
did not mention please don't rewind as far as the photos go, but back in our Unsane, we didn't mention that Matt.
Well, I didn't want to say that. That's a spoiler. That's a fun cameo. I didn't want to say on purpose.
Okay.
I deliberately didn't include that. Yeah.
Oh, well, all right.
I
but
like it because I
he
had no
is in
idea
the
that was
film.
coming. There's a fun cameo in Unsane. That's all we're going to say.
Okay.
It's fun.
All right.
But and also in that film that we didn't mention was
I
Amy
think they're
Irving.
gonna go look it up now.
They're not going to look it up. But anyway, so Father Figures, that's the story.
Yes.
It's a road trip. These two guys are trying to find who the real father is.
Indeed.
And along the way, you can imagine the bond gets a little closer, but they also have fights, this and that. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't dying to see this movie, but I really enjoyed it. I watched
did too.
it. I didn't stop watching it for a moment. I watched the whole thing all the way through last night.
Uh-huh.
And I enjoyed it. There was some good
It was
laughs, a couple
comical.
moments.
It was cute.
and
it
I
was
thought
fun.
they were both very good and very
I
likable
thought so
in this
too.
movie.
Well, Owen Wilson always has
Yeah.
that
He's
way
always Owen
that he
Wilson, but I like
talks.
Owen Wilson.
I like Owen Wilson.
And I like Luke Wilson. I like
And
them
I
both.
liked Owen in Wonder that we just saw
He was good in
last
that.
week. He was great in that.
That was probably the most dramatic role he's had so far, at least lately.
No. The most dramatic role he had was in escape movie he did.
Oh, the one in No Escape when
Yeah.
he was like in Thailand or
He's
something.
in
with his
Thailand
family.
and he's got to get
yeah,
out.
Yeah, I didn't
and,
get to see that.
That
one.
was a dramatic movie.
Yeah, I
for
wanna
him.
see that one,
That was
yeah.
a serious film. There was no
Yeah.
comedy in that
Yeah,
one.
that's
my
true. I
friend.
forgot about that film.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed Father. I was surprised how much I
I did
enjoyed
too.
it.
It was quite, you
Yeah.
know, sometimes we have to sit back and realize that a lot of the films that we do see, in fact, are, you know, basically bubblegum for the brain.
They are, yeah.
You know, they are complete and total just mental masturbation. There's no question about it. You know, there's many different aspects of masturbation. But on the other hand, get it?
Man.
On the other
Yeah,
hand,
yeah. Get
but,
your thing over
I
there.
think I did that joke. Did I do that joke last week? I can't quite remember.
Not that joke, no.
Well, but
that's
on
actually the first time you've used that
you
one.
know, people say masturbation, but on the other hand, but anyway, seriously.
Yes.
But you know, that kind of a film like this, it's kind of a, you know, it's a little comedy. Sometimes I do think this to myself at times. I must be quite frank. Strangers in the night. No, not that frank. But I must be frank, and the frankness is that sometimes I feel I'm just wasting my time
Well, yeah, I mean, there is
watching
that
these
element, some of
countless
these
films
movies.
that are just dribble for the
I know.
turd, like, you know, the little particles that go into your head. You know, you've only got a certain amount of warehouse
I know you
space.
do, that's true.
You know, and then we fill it with garbage and dribble and trash. And
That's
you know,
true.
I think half the stuff that actually does go into our brains are commercial jingles. And you know, for me, music is. I always think to myself, my God, I have this incredible musical memories, my database that's in my skull. When I die, that's all gonna go. I wish there was some way I could upload that something
I'll
for
be honest
future
with you,
generations.
There is a lot of people, a lot of scientists right now that are working on that very thing.
It will never
Getting
happen,
our
my friend.
consciousness
It
into,
will never happen.
There's a guy in Russia that says within the next X amount of years, we will be able to upload somebody's consciousness to a machine.
No, that's such horseshit.
That's what they're saying.
It's utter trash.
I mean, it's like a Black Mirror episode.
no, it's,
you know?
it's garbage.
I think eventually they'll be able to figure it out.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No,
I hope
because
not,
we're just
but I
dealing
think-
with blood and veins. You know what the coldest part of your body is, by the way?
What's that?
Your brain.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's the coldest part of
Yeah.
your body.
Yeah.
And it governs your
But
heart.
honestly, though, I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in the near future or far future, something might happen. I hope not, though.
Way beyond our simple
I don't want to
lives.
see that because that just changes everything and it's just too creepy.
No, I'd like
think
to
what-
upload my incredible knowledge in
Yeah,
this
you
mind. It's incredible.
Well, look at it this way. I'd like to think that, you know, in the beyond,
in the beyond?
your consciousness
beyond.
has to go somewhere else because your body is made of energy, right? So you want to call it a soul, you want to call it whatever. It has to go somewhere else. It doesn't just die with your body. So it goes somewhere else, dude.
I don't know,
So maybe your consciousness will go on to another plane of existence.
Maybe it will. But
Maybe all
maybe
this
it'll,
knowledge will fall upon some other being
it's
that will
probably
then
just
take
going
it.
to die the miserable death that my person will undergo.
Well,
And just, you know,
then just make
dissipate,
the best of the time you got left, my
dissipate into
friend.
a cremation
Yeah.
urn on someone's mantle.
Existential banter apparently right now.
There we go.
Yeah.
I know.
But Father Figures, you know, it's a fun
That's why
film.
no one's chimed in.
Well, nobody's even said
Wait,
a word.
we've got Dragon Ball
Hello
here.
from Algeria.
Hello from Algeria. Hello, my son.
Hi,
How are
Algeria.
you, Dragon?
Good to see you.
Does that mean that you have large testicles and you're dragon them?
It could be.
Are you dragging on those testicles? We're concerned. But anyway, go ahead.
Speak for yourself. No, I mean, I think we've said pretty much everything
Oh,
we need
let's
to
look
say.
at the notes. So
That's
have we
just
said
synopsis.
everything
That's
that we
synopsis
need?
for you.
Oh, synopsis.
Not synapse.
Oh, yeah.
Synopsis.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, so Father Figures, we did it.
You know, I
We
recommend
liked the
somebody
film.
checking it
I thought
out,
it was
and I
fun.
don't see as many comedies as
It's
I
a
would
cute
like,
little
and
film.
I thought it was an
No, it's
entertaining
cute.
one.
It's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's a good
I
film.
liked it.
Wait a
So-
minute. How come we're just in the mini portion of the monitor now?
I don't know what's going on with that.
I like seeing my big face there.
I
No,
like
it's
to
all right.
think
Don't
that
worry
that's
about
temporary.
it. All right.
So why don't we move on? We're going to do a little.
Okay.
Now another film that's on right now, home viewing, is available on Amazon as well. Is Greatest Showman,
Oh, The Greatest Showman.
which was one of my favorite films of last year.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman
I know.
is great in this film. Michelle Williams
Zac
is
Efron,
excellent.
Little Zendaya.
Yes, they're all very good. And
They are
Keela,
indeed.
the breakout star of this film is Keela Settle. She plays the bearded lady.
She plays the bearded
and she
woman.
has the Dynamite film that was up for the Dynamite song in the film that was up for the Oscar. This Is Me.
I think I went out with her once.
probably
or
did.
probably her sister.
Yeah.
She used to drag her knuckles when she walked.
It could be.
And she was a wonderful girl, and I had great affection for her.
I'm happy to
There was
hear
something
that.
about
Thank
her.
you.
And there was a tickle that she gave you that was outrageous.
Oh, good to hear.
So, but
So
you know.
back to reality over here.
Yeah. I actually did date a girl that had a little kind of a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
a
that
little
happens.
facial hair.
It happens.
She had a little more
It's
on the
hereditary
testosterone.
and sometimes cultural.
She was a beautiful girl, actually.
There are some parts
But
of the
she
world
did have a little
that's
bit
more
of a
prevalent.
stash going on, you know.
Well, you have one too, so.
Well, I had one too, so it canceled each other
It
out.
did,
you
yeah.
know, but still, she was quite. She was a cute little girl.
Good to hear.
And she also, she never got her monthly thing too.
Really?
Yeah, that's why she had a little bit more.
How does that happen that she doesn't
Oh,
get
wait,
that?
I have a wonderful story for everyone.
I don't think we have time. We have like a
Let
lot
me
of
just
films
tell
to
my
cover.
wonderful story very quickly here.
You gotta
because
get this
This is
quick.
just a wonderful story. I love telling stories that are
How about this? I'll time you even a minute.
homey and human and all that jazz.
Let's get the stopwatch.
I was at Barnes and Noble yesterday. Little boy, little kid, very cute little kid. He's trying to get on the escalator going up the steps, but he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't get on the escalator. So his mom is sitting there and she's like, come on, go,
Mm-hmm.
go. So I'm coming down the escalator from the top with the CDs and the music on up there, and I'm coming back down. So she's trying to get the kid to go on. He doesn't want to go on the escalator. So I say to her this. I said, listen, I was a little kid once, and I remember I didn't want to get on the escalator either. So she says, well, okay. So I said, I'll tell you what. I'll hold your coffee and your cake thing, and you pick up Junior and put him on the escalator and go on up. And she said, are you sure? And I said, yes, no problem. So I did. I come down and I follow her up with her little cake and her coffee thing so she can now pick up Junior and put him on the
Nice.
damn escalator. And then when he got to the top, he screamed bloody murder because
Wow.
he didn't want to get off. And there's my homey little
Oh,
story.
good. So you did it in about 50, I added 10 seconds, about 53 seconds.
And now another 20 seconds because you're timing it and talking about it.
I'm done.
So there you go.
So, Greatest Showman.
Let us move into The Greatest
story,
Showman.
if you don't know, I'm sure you do. It's about P.T. Barnum, the start of show business.
Yes.
That's who Hugh Jackman plays.
Yes.
And it's Michelle Williams is his wife. He's got a couple kids. And he embarks on this journey, which starts out...
He embarks.
He embarks.
He's a barker.
There wasn't the dog boy, though. There should have been.
There should have been.
So
You mean-
he gets on this journey, and his vision gets bigger and grander, and it grows, and he gets all
It
these
does.
people involved, and Little Tom Thumb.
Well,
and
there's a
the
little
Bearded
story.
Lady and
There's
all
the
this kind of stuff.
subtext story about his dad, who's a miserable
But
miser
that's
of
within
a
the first
guy.
like 2 minutes of the movie.
Well, I know, I'm saying
Yeah.
that. But
No.
his father is a horrible guy.
Yeah.
And he just
he
kind
wants to
of,
succeed.
and he wants his son to kind of carry on in his footsteps and just be a nothing like he is.
Yeah.
But a successful nothing.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
but Hugh just wants to go on, and of course he becomes P.D. Barnum, the greatest showman who
Greatest
ever
Showman,
lived.
and it's a wonderful film. It's a very, I would say, sanitized view of not only him but the circus.
Sanitized.
Meaning, there's a lot more to the story of P.T. Barnum and the origins of the circus in general.
So it's like a circular wax sheet.
It's a brush because the movie
like a
doesn't get into
circular-
some of the darker elements of
like
it.
a circular wax sheet you would put on a toilet rim.
if you want to put it that
Yeah,
way.
it's like sanitized.
Sanitized, yes.
There you
no,
go.
it's a watered down version of the true story, but
Okay.
it's a lovely film, and it's made into an original musical.
I know.
And the music, the lyrics are done by the guys that did La La Land.
Correct.
I do have their names.
That
here
is
just
one of the
'cause-
things about musicals is that people will randomly burst into film.
I know.
Burst into
Into
song,
song, yeah.
which is very unsettling. My wife, before she passed away, she always she never liked that. The only musical she ever liked was West Side Story,
Mm-hmm.
and she just didn't like musicals because people would just break into song.
Yeah.
And there are very inconvenient times in this film where suddenly, very intense scenes
Yeah.
are going on, which we talked about the
Yes.
first time we reviewed this
Yes.
on our other show. On YouTube, but there's a scene at the end there where he's trying to reconcile with Michelle Williams, his beloved wife,
Yes.
and suddenly he goes, "Oh, I love you."
Well,
and
that's
he goes
one
into
of the best
whole
songs in the film. I believe it's
yeah,
when
but
he
I
sings
don't
that song
give
from now on.
I don't
It's
give
great.
a young rat's
It's such a
ass.
tremendous soundtrack. I love it. I bought the soundtrack.
Did
It's
you?
great. It's
Oh,
awesome.
you fool!
I loved it.
You're a girl.
No, I'm not a girl. My wife
You're a
and I
little
love it.
girl.
You're a man girl.
You're a little baby girl
No, I
buying
liked
that
it.
soundtrack.
I like it. Shut up.
You do.
Shut up.
You like it.
We like what we like. All right.
Yeah, and you like that girly
It's
little
not girly,
sound.
it's a
Do you
good
dance
soundtrack.
around, put a little tutu on?
You're the first one that was like loving La La Land and all the music in that
Yeah, but
movie.
La La Land's like a jazz soundtrack. It's got kind of a
So
hip
what?
thing.
There's nothing wrong
It's
with
like
the music
West
in The
Side
Greatest
Story,
Showman.
dude.
Get
Now,
outta
The Greatest
here.
Showman is show stuff.
outta
It
here.
sounds like a Broadway show.
Oh, yeah,
we
well,
should
that's
go
kinda
out.
what it's supposed.
when
I
you-
wouldn't be surprised if this goes to Broadway.
Listen, when we listen to that soundtrack together, we
Yes.
should go out and pick out antiques together.
Let's do it.
Because that's how gay that soundtrack really is. But at the same time, let me say this about
Please
that,
do.
as John Kennedy once said.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
by
yeah,
the
yeah,
way,
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
not watching the Kennedys, on CNN right now, you're missing a good show. Because that is a good show, let me say that.
Thank you for telling me that.
But quite frankly, I completely lost the track of what I was
Well,
on.
because you rambled.
Because I do ramble quite a bit.
You do.
But we're talking
But
about...
you're not a rambling man.
I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler,
Ignore this man. The greatest soundtrack is amazing.
Oh, no, it's not so
It's
great.
very good.
But,
I think it's a
I
great
think we should
soundtrack.
go out and we should move in together. We should get furniture.
Oh,
we should get
stop.
antiquing.
Stop being
I think we should go
stereotypical.
and then go listen to that soundtrack.
Oh, stop
but
it.
on the
It's a
other
wonderful
hand,
film
but on the
from
other
beginning to
hand,
end.
on the other hand, we do have the young bearded woman who does have
Settle.
her breakout.
The song "This Is Me." It should have won the Oscar.
This is me.
If she didn't win the Oscar for that song, that was an
And she
atrocity.
didn't. I know,
It's a
I
shame.
agree. That's because the old farts at the Academy, they always pick some stupid, Randy Newman writes a song
I know,
every
it's
year,
true.
and, I'm so
he
sick
farts
of that
and then
horse
puts a musical company to it and they give him an Oscar.
Well, I like Randy
No, he's
Newman.
good.
And his father was Alfred Newman,
From
not
Mad
from Mad
Magazine?
Magazine.
Oh.
No, Alfred Newman wrote
Yeah.
the music for many great films, like Rome. There was the Pyramids, or what.
Yeah.
There were many films back in the Eastman Kodak, big
Yes,
70
yes, yes.
millimeter films. And his father, How the West Was Won, was written by Alfred
Oh,
Newman.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
great scores.
Good to know. So anyway, Greatest Showman, regardless, is still a great film.
It's a great film. It
wonderful.
really is a.
And Hugh Jackman is in top form in this movie.
He really
This is a
is.
passion project for him for a long time.
It's a passion project.
What's cool is his performance is great in this film. But if you want to see an even better performance by him with this movie,
Wait.
go on YouTube.
Before you
Stop,
go into-
stop. I'm not
wait.
going to that yet.
But hey, well,
on YouTube,
but-
there's a video you could watch, and it's basically it was kind of a proof of concept that the team that was getting this movie together did for the studio to greenlight the movie. They got together in a studio space in New York City, him, Keela Settle, the music guys, and a bunch of other people, and they did the whole soundtrack beginning to end of this movie.
Wow.
And they filmed it all. And the performance that Hugh Jackman gives just in that little video that is now all over the place on YouTube,
Okay.
he sings the songs with such heart. It's better than what's
Such
in the movie.
passion.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't supposed to sing. There was a guy there that was singing his part because
I
he had
see.
just got out of surgery and he had this thing on his nose. He had some cancer spots.
Wait, Hugh Jackman did?
He's had a couple cancer scares, skin cancer.
I did not know
Yeah.
that. Well, he lives in Australia.
Well, he's always in the sun.
He's in the
so
sun, and
he
they
had to
got
get
no
some-
UV filter up
Exactly.
there
He
no
had to
more.
get some stuff removed on his
Oh, I
nose.
know.
So he had this special little thing on his nose
Like a
and stitches.
bicuspid.
And he was not supposed to be doing any singing. And he just couldn't stop himself.
couldn't stop
And
from
it's such a
singing.
heartfelt performance.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right. But I must warn people, if you
yes.
are, in fact, diabetic at all, please do not go see The Greatest Showman because your blood sugars are going to go right through the roof. You're going to bring your insulin with you or bring some kind of an insulin pill to take because your blood sugars will get very high watching The Greatest Showman because it's very syrupy and sappy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I like the film.
Long way to go for that joke.
I did, and I'll say this too, by the end of the film though, there were little tears rolling down my face.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
an
They were
emotional
rolling
film.
down my face.
It's a wonderful, wonderful
this.
story. I really enjoyed it.
Blink, and like a little tear would form, and it rolled down my face.
Okay, Michael.
Next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire.
He is. So, shall we move on? We're going to do, in honor of Hugh Jackman, we're going to do a quick Hugh Jackman spotlight.
Okay.
We're going to cover our favorite film.
Now,
of
there is a
his.
film here. I think we should just blow that one right
No,
off.
if we blow that off, we're blowing off one of yours too.
No, we're not.
So we're not blowing off my film.
Oh, God.
You hate every single flashback that I do.
Because they all
and now
suck.
I'm gonna
because
keep...
they all
No,
suck.
because I like movies from the 80s and you don't.
I do like movies from the 80s.
No, you don't. You don't like
Raging
the-
Bull,
You know,
E.T.,
yeah, but not everything
Gandhi,
not everything has to be
Chariots
a big
of
Oscar
Fire,
movie. Not everything has to
Moonstruck,
be this big
The
David
Last
Lean
Emperor,
epic.
great film.
Yeah, but I can pick some
Lady
silly
Hawk.
stuff too.
Okay.
It's just as bad as Bikini Blondes with shotguns, that bullshit that you always watch.
Which one?
You
Bitch
watch,
Slap?
You watch so much stupid
Slap, it's a great
horror
movie, man.
garbage.
That's not
You
true.
waste your time
It's
on
a
utter
genre that you
trash.
can't appreciate.
It's garbage.
It's
It
not
is the
garbage.
worst genre ever.
Oh, you're
it's
so wrong.
Utter manure.
Are you saying The Exorcist is garbage?
No, I'm saying the shitty horror movies is garbage.
There are many
There
horror
are
films
some
that
good
are.
horror films, yes, but most of them.
Let's
are
just keep
utter
talking
crap.
over each other so we can't hear
Well,
what we
because
say.
I have to yell with you because you're a crazy person. But I'm allowed to pick some cheesy action movies from the 80s because that's fun.
No, you're not.
That's the stuff that was out when I was a kid.
You're wasting time now. Let's just get to. We should do Prisoners.
We're going to do Prisoners
because
yes.
we're doing our smooth segue.
Yeah, that was beyond the smooth segue. That was turbulent.
I know, but
segue.
we're going from Hugh Jackman in The Greatest Showman to a great film by Denis Villeneuve,
yes.
who was a fantastical director.
What else has he done?
Well, he's also done the Blade Runner 2049. He's also done
Sicario.
Arrival.
And Arrival.
He did Arrival, and he also did
Enemy, that weird movie with Jake Gyllenhaal as well.
He did?
Yeah.
I don't recall that film.
Yeah.
I did love Sicario.
Sicario
he did
great.
something else also.
Oh, he's done a bunch of films before he broke out in Hollywood.
He did a great movie that was
Incendies. He did.
Yes.
And that was
one that was about Iraq.
Canada, yeah. He's a Canadian
wonderful.
filmmaker.
Yeah. He is outrageously.
That was his breakout into Hollywood.
The man is a genius.
He's
and
amazing.
I love what he does with film, and
amazing.
specifically in Prisoners, the Hugh Jackman. This is a bit of a horror film almost.
It is. Honestly, when I went into this movie, I expected Prisoners to be something on par with like Taken. Okay,
there you
his daughter gets kidnapped. He wants to find her. What we get is something that is in tone, very close to Seven, and I was gripped the entire time.
The same tone.
I said tonally.
I would give the tone.
I said tonally.
Absolutely.
It's
tonally.
Tonally.
Oh, I thought you said totally.
No, tonally.
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 It's totally.
It's amazing, this movie. It's great.
It is really an amazing film.
It's intense
It's
movie.
so amazing. And I love the way Villeneuve will assume that you've, the last scene that he did, he assumes that you know kind of where that scene has gone, and then he kind of picks up from there, and he gives you another scene that's almost a little bit belated, or sometimes. Well, in Arrival, I think he takes that the reverse way, and he overachieves with kind of the flashbackian thing, and ruins that film for me. I don't care for Arrival.
It would have been more interesting told in the other order.
Love Amy Adams, but I didn't like that movie at all. I
didn't love it. I thought it was an interesting film, but I didn't love it either.
Yeah. The first half is great, and then it just kind of goes into a weird kind of shell of.
It's an odd film,
but
it's a memorable film. I mean, as a filmmaker, he gives you something that is memorable. And Arrival was a memorable movie.
He does. Well, yes.
Was it up? I think it was up for Best Picture. I
believe
know if I
it
agree
was.
with that.
Yeah, I don't.
But it was well done.
Well, Dunkirk was up for Best Picture.
I know. Well, yeah, Dunkirk.
A piece of crap.
The wrong film to nominate Christopher Nolan for Best Director. He should have got that nomination for Inception, and he didn't, and that was a shame.
Yeah, right.
That was an atrocity.
Yeah, but not Interstellar. I didn't love Interstellar.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked that film too. That was better than Dunkirk.
It was 14 hours long. That film.
It was long.
Yeah, the uncut version.
Remember how loud that music was in that movie
The uncut version was like 15 hours. It's just god awful.
Yeah.
But Prisoners, I cannot say enough about it.
It is an intense film if you've ever seen it. Also stars Paul Dano.
Paul Dano is so great in this film.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard is in it.
Melissa Leo.
Yep.
And Maria Bello as well, and Jake Gyllenhaal, like we said before.
A young child is kidnapped.
Yes.
And we don't know who, and then we find out who kidnaps, and then they go after the kidnapper, and then torturous things happen. It is a mind-blowing piece of work, and the ending will haunt you. It still haunts me to this day.
It's
I
a
kid you not.
dark movie.
It's just awesome. Melissa Leo, oh my God.
She's
this
great.
film, I mean, the very end with Jake Gyllenhaal kind of, we hear this kind of whistle, film ends. And we all know kind of, we pray what happens happened, but we're not sure. So that's the beauty of Mr.
And Jake
Villeneuve.
is so good too in
he
this
is
stuff.
extraordinary.
He takes a role that could just be a standard cop detective, and he really elevates it to something different. He adds a lot of character.
When the material is there, and he has the ability to do that, and here the material is there in Prisoners.
He's a great actor. And another great role for him was Nightcrawler. Oh man, what
God.
a creep.
That was a great.
He's a great actor. As you always say, future Oscar winner. He definitely is.
And that featured one of our last performances by Bill Paxton.
I know, Bill
That always
Paxton.
breaks my heart.
That was a death that I didn't expect.
Oh, I didn't want to see Bill go.
I didn't expect that I'd be seeing such a young death there.
I know. I love Bill Paxton.
He's always good.
He should have been around forever.
I know.
It still kills me that he's gone. It killed him too.
Well, yeah, but he had a heart defect, right?
He did,
That's
I believe.
what it
Well,
was.
no, he went in for a standard. It should have been a standard valve.
And then something else happened.
Some valve thing went wrong, etc. And the next thing,
what a shame.
He died.
It's terrible.
I know.
Hopefully the family sued the hospital. Maybe they did some.
I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter now.
Anyway, so
all right, so let's move on to your
That's
piece
available
of...
on Amazon. I highly recommend that film to anybody.
Now, if you have a piece of garbage that you'd like to recommend to the people as a flashback, go ahead and do it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Lady Hawk is a film from 1985. It's my flashback from, for now, from the 80s. It's an 80s flashback.
Oh, this is
We like doing flashbacks every once in a while.
Yeah.
He tends to go real deep with them, like, old school. And I do too sometimes, but I generally like to linger in the 80s. That's kind of a fun time for me.
Yeah.
I have a lot of nostalgia for the 80s, and I like to pick a lot of those films.
Yeah, sure.
But I actually just saw this film for the first time this past week.
You never saw it before?
No, I'm picking it because I've never seen it. I never watched it.
Oh, okay.
I've heard about it.
Where did you see it?
I have the DVD and I just put it in.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You mean you've had it all these years, but you
And I
never
watched-
wanted to watch it?
No, I just didn't watch. Not that I didn't want to
just
watch it.
never wanted to.
No, like you, I'm an obsessive collector. Oh, I'll watch this one day. How many movies do you have that you haven't watched?
Not
Probably
too many,
thousands.
really. No, not too many at all.
Of course you do.
No, the
On
only
your
thing
little flash drives?
No. The
Probably got a
only
million you
thing
haven't seen.
I wish you hadn't mentioned that. Yes. Oh, pardon me. Someone's here to take
No,
me
he
away.
just saves them.
No, but
you know.
seriously, no. The only movies that I really do have that I haven't watched yet are my Criterion stacks.
Yeah, so
that
you
I
intend
have
to watch
purchased.
them.
I do intend to watch them.
intended to watch
But I've
Lady
only
Hawk.
purchased all those within the last year or so.
Good for you.
Yeah,
You want
so
a
there
cookie
you
for that? I'll give you a cookie.
Do
later.
you have a cookie?
No.
I'd take
But
it.
anyway,
You offered a
let
cookie,
me get
dude.
to my review instead of your digression.
Please.
Lady Hawk is it's Matthew Broderick in a film that it's kind
one of the worst actors ever in the history of
It's
man.
kind of weird seeing him in
He's
in
so
a fantasy
bad.
film. I can't say he was amazing or great in this film.
He's horrible at everything
he plays
does.
a petty thief. No,
Yeah.
he's not. I wouldn't go
Biloxi
that
Blues,
far.
he was
I like
all
that
right.
film. Ferris Bueller's
Ferris
a classic
Bueller's a
movie.
piece of garbage.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's horrible.
You know what it is that you were too old to appreciate the 80s movies that I appreciated
No, that's
as a
not
kid.
true. But
No,
you
I
see,
think
there is a
generational
there is a generational thing that when
that's
you
missing
grow
there.
up with a movie,
I know.
it takes on a new dimension
does.
of freshness and newness, and
know.
you embrace it more as a youth.
Yeah, but I can watch
There's
some
no
movies
question.
now that I watched as a kid, and I can see.
And see how
yeah,
garbage
it doesn't hold up.
So maybe in about 20 years, you'll watch Lady Hawk again and say,
no,
"What the
honestly,
hell was I
probably
thinking?"
won't watch Lady Hawk more than once.
No, you won't.
It was a fun movie. It wasn't like, it's not a groundbreaking movie by any
No,
extent.
it's not.
But it's a fun movie to watch if you want to watch something different. What I liked the most about this movie, it was the music. It was amazing. It was really bombastic and there was
wrote
a lot
it?
of
Do you recall?
synth.
I think it was John Barry for some reason.
I don't
it might
know.
have been one
It
of
was
his
a lot
last
of
scores.
synth, I'll tell you that much.
Very interesting.
It was almost
You
out
are a
of
synth fan.
place.
Yeah.
I love synth. It's my favorite. You have a synthesizer on music, and I'm in.
Really?
That's why I love that whole genre that's out called outrun music.
Okay.
It's out right now. It's all different types of 80s throwback synth stuff. It's great.
Okay.
But in this film, Matthew Broderick, he just plays a petty thief
Yeah, he's
who escapes
horrifying.
a dungeon. He befriends, unwittingly, an ex-soldier played by Rutger Hauer, who in this film has a pet hawk that we learn is his cursed love, played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
The lovely Michelle.
And what's cool is that they were both cursed. There was a satanic curse done to both of them.
And now you're cursed watching
I
this
am.
film.
And so by
And you
day,
cursed all of them.
by day, Michelle Pfeiffer, his love, is now a hawk. By night, she's herself. But by night, Rutger Hauer is a wolf.
Yeah.
So they can never be together. And it was a curse that was put on them. And then they end up going on this quest for revenge, and Matthew Broderick becomes an unwitting helper
Yeah.
with that. It's a fun little movie. It's a little 80s throwaway.
Yeah, no,
sci-
if you're
fantasy
15,
film.
if you're 15 or 12
I
years
think
old,
kids would like it.
I think kids might, more so than
And
adults.
you are
or
so soulless
anybody
sometimes.
over the age
Oh,
of
stop.
13.
Stop it.
I can't really see what the point would
No,
be
I
to
think-
watch
I
a
think
film like
there's
this.
fun there. People that want to watch, and what's cool too, it was also directed by Richard Donner, who's
It
done a
was,
lot of great films.
indeed. He's done.
He did The Goonies.
Well,
he
you
did the
know,
Lethal Weapon
that
films.
just
The
shows
original
that
Superman.
all the films he did were not great, apparently.
Oh, stop.
So you know,
Well, it's kind of hard to keep a filmography perfect as a director. It's not
it
many that can
certainly
do
is.
that.
I know.
But yeah, is this his greatest film?
No.
But is it entertaining and fun?
No.
Yes. No, it's fun. It's an entertaining film.
No, it's worthless
I
completely.
recommend Lady Hawk for somebody who wants to just watch something while you're eating a sandwich at some point. You can do that.
Eating a
It's a
sandwich.
fun little movie.
So, if, in other words, if you need to,
It's
if you
not
need
utter
to
crap like
have
you
a
would make it
meal,
think.
you need to have a meal.
You probably only remember moments of it anyway.
I see.
You probably saw it once years ago and you don't remember anything about it. And so you're just being a douchey person.
Now look
for
how
the
much
sake
time
of
we
it.
have left. I told you that we really needed another film tonight.
Not really.
Well, because now you're leaving me with 20 minutes to do my horror corner.
Not 20 minutes, 18 minutes.
18 minutes, okay.
Yeah,
Basically
18
almost
minutes.
20 minutes.
Well, why don't
and I
you
told
start?
you that was only a 5-minute shtick.
Well,
now I got to drag
but
it
last
on.
week we had 6 movies and it took up the entire hour.
Yeah.
So you can't
That's
really
because
go
they were
figure.
interesting.
Oh, stop. No, because you're being a pain. Just do your insidious garbage. Daryl's Horror Corner is about to begin.
All right.
Hold your breath,
Wait a
guys.
minute.
Hold your nose, too.
Do we have a logo? Oh,
There it
thank
is.
you. Well, then I'll put on my special horrifying
Yeah, do that.
goggles. Yeah. All right, now, as long as I have to kill some time here, and obviously I do.
Get into it.
Yeah. There I am. It's me. I'm Daryl, and this is my horror corner. Well, all right. Now I'm going to take these off.
Why
don't you just take a nap, dude? Why don't you just lay on the couch, man?
Yeah, I'm going to maybe lay down like this, like you be my psychiatrist.
Yeah, I'll be your psychiatrist. Well,
Tell me
all
about
right.
Insidious 4.
Let's talk about Insidious 4. Insidious 4 is at the end of 3 previous Insidious films. Now, the Insidious films originally starred Patrick Wilson and the beautiful Rose Byrne.
Yes.
And I'll tell you something. The Insidious films, they promise the devil. Damn it, they deliver. They deliver the goods. They are some of the scariest films. Of course, they're all done by the man who created the Saw films.
James Wan produced those movies, yeah.
And he produces these also.
Yeah, I don't know if he directed any of these, but
I
he's
think
the
he may have
producer.
directed
Maybe
the first
one?
Correct.
Yeah.
But he
He's
did,
now
in
doing
fact...
the Aquaman movie.
Is he?
He's directing the Aquaman film.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He's a fine director.
He's good.
He's very good
He
indeed.
did one of the last Fast and Furious, I think part 7 he did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But the Insidious films are really quite spooky. And they do have one really cool thing about them is they have this old lady. I wish perhaps you have a photo of her there. But she's an older lady. She looks like a little kind of a woman you just meet at a grocery store.
Is she the parapsychologist?
And she brought her own. There she is right there.
Yeah.
She's kind of the woman you'd see at the grocery store, and she wouldn't want plastic or
actress's
paper.
name is Lynn Shay.
There you go. Well, Lynn Shay would bring her own canvas bags to pack her groceries. That's the kind of person she is.
Okay.
But she is extraordinary
she's in all of them.
in this movie. Yes. This movie is kind of the prequel to her existence as a psychic. And that's what she is through the first 3 films. She's a psychic.
This is a prequel.
This is kind of a prequel to her character.
Yeah.
It's not a prequel, but we go back in when she is a young girl.
But in the storyline, it
how-
does take place before the original 3 films. So kind of, it's a
No,
side,
not
a side
really.
prequel,
No.
right? No?
It's simply a flashback. It's a flashback of her life.
Okay.
And how when she is growing up, okay, her father is a horrible man
understand.
to her and her mom
Okay.
and her young brother, who is played by the guy that was in, he was in Ben, Ben,
I don't know what that is.
the Rat movie that Michael Jackson sang the theme song to. He's a white-haired guy. He's always been white-haired.
Oh, are you talking about, I think I haven't seen it. Is it Bruce Davidson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bruce is in this film.
Bruce
He
Day- I
plays
like
the young
him.
brother. Yeah.
He's good.
So, okay. So we have this, here she is, our old lady, who's the star of these other Insidious films. This is her as a young girl, and she can see the dead. She sees dead people. I see dead people right over there. If only she got together with Haley Joel Osment, they made their own little movie called The Eighth Sense, and they created this whole ambiguous, demon-eyed world. It would be incredible. But, so, we now kind of move on, and we find that spirits are calling her back to her house where she grew up in. And I'll tell you, it is a chiller. There are chilling moments in this film that are frightening, and I kid you not. Some of these films, there's an Annabelle series, which is also an offshoot, Annabelle the Creation.
That's from The Conjuring,
just called
right?
Annabelle. That also from The Conjuring.
Yeah.
The Conjuring series, also Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
It wasn't Rose Byrne in that one, though. Vera
Was it Vera
Farmiga.
Farmiga?
Well,
Yeah.
she played the psychic, but his wife was played by someone else. But I'll tell you, those films also frightening. I tried to get her to watch The Conjuring, too. No, I won't watch that.
I watch Conjuring 1 before I watch Conjuring 2.
Oh, yeah, that's your thing. Yeah, I have to watch Twin Peaks, that came out in 1992. You still haven't watched the first Twin Peaks series.
I watched most of the first
Can't get to the
season.
new one that's incredible.
But I want to see the original first.
I realize that.
Stop harassing
When was
me.
the last time you watched any of them? Maybe a year ago.
Because I got distracted with
you
other
got
things that I'm watching.
distracted with all kinds of crap.
I don't have the kind of free time
If
you have.
only you could just
If only
stay
you would-
focused.
If only you would
If only
just...
you could stay focused.
I have
But
other
that is
things
no
to do.
focus.
How am I going to fit in 5 movies a week if
Yeah.
I'm watching Twin Peaks at the same time?
Don't ever put that camera on him. Don't ever.
Oh, shut up.
Block that
This
camera.
man has nothing better
You should
to do
just
but to watch
block
media
that
all day
camera.
long.
Block that camera right out. I don't want to
I
be
still got this camera here.
Well, all right. But the truth of the matter is, this is a great little piece of work. Insidious 4, I loved it. I want to see Insidious 5. This movie chilled me, it thrilled me, I loved it. I really did. Let's move on now. Time is wasting. We're going to go on to Demon House.
Demon House, I would actually watch.
Demon House is kind of
It's a
interesting.
documentary.
It is a documentary, and it's about one of the most haunted houses in
America.
the
It's in
country.
Indiana.
I believe it's in Indiana,
Yeah.
correct? Or
Yeah.
Ohio, I thought.
No, it's Indiana.
Is it Indiana?
I'm pretty sure. I looked it up. I'm pretty sure it was Indiana.
Let me see your notes
Well, I
here.
didn't write down where it was.
might be your notes.
You know, I was going to save that. Now I'm going to throw it out.
Why don't you just reprint them?
I don't want to waste the paper.
I don't want to waste the paper. I'll give you the cent and a half it costs to make that. Okay, but anyway, let's get on with it, shall we?
Please do.
I really should spend more time on Insidious because I don't think I can talk about Demon House
Well,
for
we'll
10
talk
whole
about
minutes.
other things.
We can
don't
talk
have to
about
just
other things
this
in life.
nonsense.
Yeah, we'll talk about your brain damage.
Oh, stop.
And the other thing
Talk
is
about brain damage. Look at you.
right. But
You're
seriously.
a poster child
All
for
right, let's
brain
get into Demon House for a moment. Demon House kind of sets you up. There's a lot of people involved in this, and it is a true story. So, however, it is narrated by our man,
Filmmaker.
and here he is. His name is
Zach
Zach
Baggins.
Baggins. No
Not
relation,
Bilbo Baggins.
no relation to Bilbo.
Yeah.
But Zach Baggins takes a camera and he goes around the country and he goes into various homes and so forth. But this particular house has had deaths in it. People have been dared to spend like a whole night there. Almost the one cool thing about this house is that almost every single person, I'm talking police officers who've gone to the house, firemen who have gone to the house, people who have just gone into the house, almost all of them. I mean, like 98% of those people, something horrible happened to them.
Wow.
Yeah. And one particular guy, they just went in to do a walkthrough. You know, they have these cold meters and they go in with the poltergeist crew who goes in and do these documentary shows that we see, ghost hunters,
of course,
etc. on
Yeah, they
television.
come and
There's
they
a
go check it
wonderful,
out.
there's a British BBC series about this. It's on Netflix, as a matter of fact, and where they go into haunted castles and so forth in England. It's kind of fascinating. But this guy goes into this house. He ends up spending a night there, okay? And by the end of the night, he's almost completely lost his sight.
Wow.
Something has happened. There's like an irritant.
And we see this happening in real time.
Well, pretty much.
He's got
I
a
mean,
crew
it's not
with
real
him?
time. He's in there. No. He just has 4 cameras.
Oh, that's it. Just-
around the house.
okay.
And then at one particular point, he goes into the bedroom to lie down, and he hears he picks up the sound of like voices and so forth. What are you looking at the time over there?
No, I was looking to see if anybody was chiming in on the
Nobody
chat.
gives a rat's ass
The old
about us,
nerd
my
is,
friends. No.
persona non grata right now.
No, the old nerd is off taking tolls on the Garden Take Beltway right now.
Yeah,
No. That's
could
all
be.
he does. He just takes tolls. 35 cents, please. 35 cents, please. 35. He might be on the turnpike too. We don't know where that guy
Was
is.
he the one that was in like another country? that
He's in
didn't have
another
YouTube?
country, actually. He
Yeah.
doesn't get YouTube in his country.
No, I want to know where it is.
I wish he'd
Where
come
are you
out.
from? What country are you from?
I don't know. He doesn't know either. He does. I asked him 2 weeks ago.
He didn't respond.
He would not tell me.
Oh.
Maybe he's in Red China.
Could be.
It could be behind that red curtain.
I don't think it's in China.
Pay no attention to the man behind the red curtain.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what he. Yeah, and there's Trump out in the front, and there's Vladimir behind
That
the
was pretty
curtain.
funny.
That was a pretty little good Wizard
We're
of
referring
Oz.
to a meme that we saw that
A
had a
meme.
picture of Trump as the Wizard of Oz with the green, and then in the back behind the curtain was Putin.
Correctamundo.
I should have brought
Very
that picture
good.
with us. I didn't know we were going to bring it up.
You didn't know we were going to talk about it, but
Yeah.
here we are talking about blah blah.
So do you
blah.
recommend Demon House to people to
You
watch?
know,
It's
well,
on Amazon. Everything's on Amazon.
I'm
except Unsane.
gonna give it all away. I mean, he talks in this kind of a dark, deep kind of voice through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then this man got polio. He doesn't get polio, but this guy
Gets
suffered
blah, blah, blah,
horrible
yeah.
ailments,
Yeah.
and somebody killed themselves. Somebody did this. And horrible things happen to everybody who associates themselves with this house.
Interesting.
At the end of the film, I'm just going to give it away, ladies and gentlemen. Spoiler! At the end of the film, this documentary, it's only an hour and a half long, but at the very end, they knock the house down,
Oh, yeah.
and they bring a part of it to like a museum, I believe, somewhere in Vegas or some nonsense. And people do say that, oh, it was creepy. I went to see the museum, and it was creepy.
Oh, yeah, there's a picture of it being demolished.
There it is, right over there, being demolished. Well, I've got to thank Adam. Ladies and gentlemen, a brief round of applause for Adam, our man behind the scenes.
He's doing a
And
good
thank
job.
God he's here to tell you everything and show you the pics that you're seeing.
Yeah.
And so hats off to you, sir.
Thank you to me for providing the pictures.
And
spending 2 hours culling the
Yeah,
imagery.
yeah. Don't even thank him. He does that in
And
his
cutting
sleep.
together our opening
He
and
does
shooting
that in
it
his
and
sleep.
doing all that stuff.
But this
acting
guy,
with you in the
yeah,
opening
there you
scene.
go. So is that it?
Well,
oh
do
no.
you want to do your Alienist?
I would
that
like to
you
talk to you
wanted
about that.
add at
Okay,
2:30 this morning.
Yeah, we got Daniel Bruhl. Daniel Bruhl, who was part Spanish, part German, which I did not know.
Interesting combo.
He always plays a German commandant in various films that he's in and so forth.
I think he's done it maybe twice.
He always plays that. He pretty much plays that evil son of a bitch. You know,
he's good at it.
He's good at it.
Yeah.
He's very true. And I saw him. He was on Carson Daly has a show called Last Call, which
that
is
show
on
is still on the air.
on every
I didn't
night
know
at
that.
like 1:50
late.
in the morning.
Yeah.
It's on at 1:50, 1:30 in the morning every night on NBC, right after the Seth Meyers show.
Yeah.
And he was on the show, and I specifically recorded the show because since I'm now watching The Alienist and I'm up close and personal with Daniel
Yes.
every week, I kind of wanted to
blame
have
you.
him just talk about
course.
himself, but he had to move to Budapest
To do the show.
shoot The Alienist.
Yes.
But I'll tell you one great thing about The Alienist. This is a book written by
Famous novel.
Caleb Carr
Yeah.
back in 1991, 92,
Yeah.
circa. And as the circa be unbroken, but it's circa 1991,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And so it's set in early New York. The beauty of this show is that it really has a New York, the cobblestones, the outfits, the whores down the alleys, the whole bit. You really feel it. And Daniel Bruhl said that he had to move to Budapest. He had to convince his wife to move to
he
Budapest.
just got married, too.
He had just got
Yeah.
married. He moved to Budapest to do this show, but he said it was so cool because while he was there was just everywhere was just that feel of New York, the horses and just everywhere. I mean, this whole set was completely designed. But
He was probably eating a lot because he was in Hungary.
I bet he was. Hey, yeah, he was
Hungary.
Well,
But this show on TNT,
we want to thank Chris's mom and dad who created
Yes,
him,
they did a
so
good
that he was
job.
able to come out with that joke at this precise moment
Exactly.
in time.
Yes.
We'd like to thank you for that.
Thanks, Dad, for squeezing
Thanks,
me out.
and thanks, Mom, too. Well, Mom
Yeah.
squeezed you out, and Dad
well,
just
Dad squeezed me out a different
all
way.
Dad did was give Mom a quick shot there, and she took it from
I'm
there.
very appreciative.
There you go.
But yeah, so the Alienist is on
So the
TNT.
Alienist
It just
stars
ended its 10th
Luke
episode
Jordan.
run.
Luke Jordan is in it, of course, from Dracula.
I mean Luke Evans.
Luke Evans, I'm
I don't
sorry.
know who Luke Jordan is.
Well, Luke
And
Jordan.
Dakota Fanning.
Dakota, yes, and I'd like the slapper on the Fanning, I
Yes.
would. But Dakota's actually pretty good in this movie.
I'd like to see her do a movie with her sister, Elle Fanning. They should do a movie together.
Maybe they
They're
should.
both competing for. I think
I know.
actually Elle's probably in more stuff right now. Dakota works,
no,
but Elle, I feel like
Dakota's
is everything.
Dakota's doing a lot of stuff now again.
I mean, they're both excellent.
They are both excellent.
But they
it's
should
true.
do a movie together.
I'd like them to.
Yeah.
That would be kind of good. But what would they play?
Sisters.
Sisters?
Yeah.
I suppose. But, well, The Alienist is quite good. It's about a serial killer who's on the
Yes.
loose who likes to kill
In
little
early
boys.
New York City.
Likes to kill little boys. Likes to gouge out their eyes
Yes.
and collect them.
Yes.
We find out, of course, through the course of this 10-episode. Now, you can see this on TBS or TNT or one of
It's on
those.
TNT,
It's
which
on
I
TNT.
said before.
Well, it's also on You can, I believe, you can
Well,
go to
that's
the
right.
app.
That's right. Because
they're the same.
They're the same parent.
Just go
they're
to
both
their
Turner.
app and you can
so
watch
you can
it
watch it on both, I
on
guess.
demand.
But I think it airs on TNT initially. But I think the
Yes.
app allows you to do whatever.
Yes, the apple doesn't fall from the tree.
Yeah.
So the apple allow you to, yes, do whatever you
It
like.
will allow you to do
so indeed. So, but it's quite a show, and the serial killer is he's quite the killer, you know.
Cool.
And he
It
likes to
sounds really
gouge
good.
out little boys' eyes, and there's a pedophile
Not a very nice
aspect
thing to
to
do.
it. You know, it's really not. I don't recommend that to any of you out there. Although I wish we'll never really hear from those people because, look, we're just staring at the same lines
Yeah,
over
maybe
and
nobody's
over
on
and
there.
over.
I don't
Where's
know.
Dragon Ball? That's
Yeah.
what I want to see. This big testicle being
Yeah.
pulled along behind him wherever he goes.
But you know what's a serial killer movie that I love? I really like From Hell with Johnny Depp.
Oh, yes.
The Hughes Brothers film
Well,
about
that's a Jack the Ripper, yeah.
But it's a really cool one. I like that
Well,
one a
then
lot.
again, we had the first Sherlock Holmes with
That's
Robert
true, we
Downey
did.
Jr. That was a Sherlock
honestly,
Holmes.
I like both those films.
I do too.
There are people that don't like those movies. I like them.
All right, yeah, the Jack the Ripper is wonderful.
They're supposed to be doing a third one.
I'm not
what I've
surprised.
heard.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I wonder if I think Numi's going to be in it also. Little Numi Rapace.
She was in the second
She
one.
was in the second.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. And of course, we have the Sherlock Holmes series. He has not yet. He just
Benedict
did
Cumberbatch.
Benedict
Yes,
Cumberbatch,
Sherlock,
or
yeah.
Benedict Cumberbuns, as the people in
Yes.
weddings like to refer to him.
Yes.
But you know, I love the Sherlocks. And the third in the series, he goes back and does the whole Hound of the Baskervilles
Yes, yes.
Scenario, of course, the wondrous Basil Rathbone from many years ago. But anyway, there you go. But I really like this show. It was on for 10 weeks.
On par with the book, would you say? 'Cause
Studiously.
I know you read the book, right?
The book was far better.
The books are always better.
The book was so more atmospheric and frightening. There was just the brilliance of the writing behind this incredible book. And Caleb Carr then went on and did a second book, which the name escapes me, but it was never nearly as good because as most serial killers, there's an ending to the first book that is now really not transcribable to a second novelization about that same thing. So unfortunately, we just kind of demised there. But The Alienist is a great, great read and wonderful. So
great.
And this was a pretty good, pretty fair
limited run series. I don't think we're going to get a second season.
I think there were some embellishments taken. There's a love story between Luke Evans and Dakota that just kind of fizzled out. But there's some grisly moments in this film and some frightening ones too. So
cool.
That's all we can really ask of a horror film. And there you go. Daryl's Horror Corner has come to a blatant and miserable end.
Wonderful.
And so I do hope.
Well, I think we should do Daryl's Horror Corner once a month. How about that?
Once a month?
We have the logo, so might as well.
I suppose we do.
I don't have an
It's
issue
quite
with
the
that.
logo. Do we have that logo? Can we see that logo again?
It looks good.
It looks good, dude.
I like
Look
it.
at that, Daryl's Horror Corner.
It's not bad.
Well, I should be sitting in the corner though. But I sort of am.
Yeah.
I suppose I
Maybe
sort
we
of
can
am.
we'll film a shot of you for a still image of you like cowering.
Cowering over.
You know?
By the way, we did not mention, we never do a recap. We should do a quick recap. We did like Insane. I don't know if we actually say.
We both,
we both
I
liked
said
it.
We both
I didn't
liked
love it,
Unsane.
but I did like Unsane.
Yes.
And our second film, Father Figures, we
We
both
both
liked
liked
that
Father
too.
Figures.
Good little.
Well, yeah, I'll pull the list out for
a
us, yeah.
renunciation of things seen.
We both really loved The Greatest Showman, obviously.
Yep.
We both loved Prisoners.
We did. Prisoners is a great film.
We completely disagreed on Lady Hawk, which is whatever.
Lady Hawk is a piece of
And then
garbage. I
you
wouldn't
just-
recommend it. I wouldn't give that to a 9-year-old to watch.
I would give it to a 9-year-old.
Even he would be bored.
No, I think a 9-year-old would
No,
love
he
it.
would be
I think
bored.
would.
And he would say.
I think Daryl's 9-year-old self would have enjoyed it if he was 9-year-old.
Well,
if you
that's
were 9 years
possible.
old when that came out,
I don't know.
you would have enjoyed it.
I was reciting Shakespeare in those days, my
okay.
son.
No, you weren't.
I was actually. I was very
Were
much
you
into
at
Shakespeare.
9 years old?
Yeah, I was very much
You're reading
into
Shakespeare at 9?
I was.
That's
too.
a bit of a stretch to
I
believe.
memorized To Be or Not to Be. To be or not to be. That is the question. Whether it is noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. And so forth.
Good for you.
But I actually did memorize the Julius Caesar speech also.
Well, there's some
Friends,
good
Romans,
speeches in
countrymen.
there.
Yeah, there's some great
give
ones
me
there.
that. Give me your ears.
Give me
yeah.
your rears.
I like the part where he's like, and he was
That's
an
the
honorable
Greek
man.
That's the Greek version. Give me
Oh.
your rears.
Oh, but I'm
But
anyway, Daryl's Horror Corner, he liked all these movies he recommended.
I'd like to thank the people behind my logo there for comprising a
Thank you,
fantastic.
everybody.
Can we see that logo one more time? Can he whip it? I think
you're
I think he's
incorrigible.
asleep now. Hey,
Oh,
there it
there
is.
it
All
is.
right.
Oh, there it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to bid
We'll see
you
you next
adieu.
week with a review
We shall
of
see you next
Ready
week.
Player One.
We'll be
no
back
doubt.
with more
We
crap.
will be seeing that film this week.
More garbage do
And
we
more
have
garbage.
to disappoint you further.
Yes.
And we bid you adieu.
We'll catch you soon. Until next week.
Adieu.
Road. Yeah, where we going now? Yeah, let's just,